Hello, good evening. Myself, Dr. Ragam Dayal. You are welcome in the fifth episode of Geology class organized by Jan Vikas Mahasabha and Society of Career Technology. You might be remembering that day before yesterday we were talking about pearl culture. You must be using this type of pearl in your house. Your mother and grandmother might be using it. You know that it is also developed by an animal, and that animal is a marine animal, lives in an oceans or sea, which is called bivalve mollusk. The interesting thing is that its body is covered by a hard shell, but when we remove the shell, the body is covered by further a thin skin. So what happens when any sand grain or any foreign particle comes to lie in between the hard shell and the soft mantle, soft skin? Then the skin gets irritated and tries to deposit calcium carbonate around that foreign particles. Within 2-3 years, it becomes a natural pearl. So pearls are of three types. One, natural pearl, which are formed automatically inside the bivalve mollusk. Kokichi Mikimoto, a Japanese scientist, found out that this type of activity can be done artificially also. He just tried to open a bivalve mollusk and insert a sand grain or glass bead in between the hard covering and the skin and left it in the ocean for 3 years. In many cases, the skin developed into a deposition which developed into a pearl in 3 years. So it's a very beautiful natural thing created by an animal. So every day we will talk about one interesting event, and for that that Japanese scientist Kokichi Mikimoto is worshipped like a god, and on the streets a statue of Kokichi Mikimoto has been installed. So first of all, I would like to give you the schedule of the whole month. And friends, this program is yours program. So I wish that you also participate in it. By tomorrow, every day the time is fixed 5 to 5:30 p.m. Indian time. So in between the class, if you have any query about that topic, I shall give you the phone number 9026124880. You can ring at that phone either by SMS or WhatsApp or call. You can ask any question and I shall try to answer at the same time. And secondly, besides this schedule, if you need information about any other topic, you can call, and within 72 hours that topic will be included in the schedule and I shall try to tell you about that. So we were talking about cell and cellular organelles. Organs, the hand, feet, eyes, are made up of many cells. But inside a cell, a component of a cell is called organelle. What is a cell? Cell is the biological unit of activity, or cell is the structural and functional unit of life. Before that, viruses are Connecting link in between non-living and living organism. Like a non-living organism, they just sit idle like a sugar crystal or a salt crystal. But when they enter inside a living cell, they start multiplying. And multiplication is the basic characteristic of a living organism. Viruses are very simple. They do not have any cell. They just have a central nucleic acid core which is surrounded by a protein capsid. There are four variations. There are some viroids in which only nucleic acid core is there and there is no protein capsid or protein covering. Interesting thing is there are some organisms called prions. Prions have only protein capsid. Normally protein molecules do not have the capacity to multiply, but these prions have been found to multiply inside living cell and they cause many diseases. In this category of viruses, some viruses like the coronavirus, adenovirus, they are made up of two more coverings. Besides the nucleic acid core and the protein capsid, they have a lipoprotein covering, and around that lipoprotein covering again, there are certain thorn-like structures or spikes which help in attachment with the host cell. The cellular or cells are also four types. We have already discussed it. I just try to recollect it. The plant cell, animal cell, bacterial cell, and the mycoplasma. Plant cell, all the cells have a plasma membrane boundary wall. Plant cell have a cellulose cell wall around that plasma membrane. Animal cells also have an extra covering around that plasma membrane, which may be made up of different types of chemicals. It might be called pellicle or basement membrane or glycocalyx or extraneous coat. The smallest cell or PPLO, the mycoplasma, they are peculiar that they have only cell membrane and no cell wall. In a bacteria, we have a simple cell, but a cell wall of bacterial cellulose is there. Later on, we will talk about each organelle in detail, about its structure and function. Today we will discuss only a brief detail of its structure and function. The first important structure of the cell is the centrosome, right? Centrosome is found in animal cells only, not in the plant cell. And of course, in the nerve cell or neuron also, this centrosome is absent. The centrosome is having two small granules in the middle. They are surrounded by a spherical zone, and then certain rays come out from them. At the time of cell division, this centrosome divides into two. The two centrioles separate from each other and form the two poles. These rays further develop to form spindle fibers, and then again in the next cell division, the centrioles divide to form two centrioles, the complete centrosome. There is one more interesting cellular organelle, peroxisome. Peroxisome were discovered by Christian D. Dubé in 1955. In fact, they contain some enzymes related with peroxidation, the hydrogen peroxide. The enzyme is called catalase, and these are all also very important in cell metabolism. Then the third important organelle is the central, more dense part of the cell, the nucleus. Nucleus is surrounded by a double membrane, and in this double membrane we have many nuclear pores. Inside the liquid part, fluid part of the nucleus is called nucleoplasm, and there is one or maybe sometimes more than one still more denser part in the nucleus called nucleolus, but that nucleolus do not have any membrane. Then a network of thread-like structures is there called chromatin network. When the cell is not dividing, this is present in the form of a network having two types of zones. Some parts are more dark in staining called heterochromatin, and some lighter staining part called euchromatin. It is supposed that euchromatins are the site of active genes. When the cell divides, at that time this chromatin network splits into distinct thread-like structures called chromosomes. Number of chromosomes is constant in all cells of all individuals of a particular species. For example, in all cells of human being, we have 46 chromosomes. But in the germ cells or gametes, we have half number 23 chromosomes. So, in the interphase, the chromatin network is in the form of a network, but at the time of cell division, it splits into distinct thread-like structures, the chromosomes. Like a transport system in a city made up of many roads, inside the cell also in the cytoplasm we have a network of road-like structures. They are called endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is of two types. One which contain attached ribosomes on the wall, which are called rough endoplasmic reticulum or RER, and the other type have no attached ribosomes. It is called smooth endoplasmic reticulum. In the structural form, the endoplasmic reticulum is further made up of three components. There are some areas like pages of a book arranged parallel to each other, stacks, which is called the cisternae. Then certain tubular structures are there, the tubules, and some spherical sac-like structures called vesicles. So this endoplasmic reticulum helps in the transport of protein and lipid inside the different areas of a cell. Golgi body. Camillo Golgi in 1898 had discovered this structure. It is found in almost all animal cells, but in cells which are concerned with secretion of a chemical, the Golgi body is much more developed. So Golgi body is the secretory structure of a cell. It is more developed in the cells of endocrine and exocrine glands. In plant cells, this Golgi body is broken into many subunits called dictyosomes. Then one very interesting structure of cellular organelles is the mitochondria. Mitochondria are the powerhouse of cell. They perform the reactions of oxidation of food material to liberate energy. As you know that all energy on this planet Earth has been obtained from sun. Only the chlorophyll molecule of the green plants have the capacity to store this solar energy in the form of potential energy or the chemical bond energy in the carbohydrates. And that chemical bond energy is utilized in both plant and animal cells by the help of this structure, the mitochondria. Mitochondria have two membranes, outer membrane and inner membrane. Inner membrane also have some in-pushings, finger-like or plate-like, which are called mitochondrial cristae or crests. The fluid material Inside the mitochondria is called mitochondrial matrix. On these cristae, there are some lollipop or tennis racket-like structures which are called elementary particle by David E. Green in 1964, but in 1968 Ephraim Racker called them as F1 particles. These F1 particles have two components. The base contains the F0 ATPase which participates in proton transport, and the knob of this F1 particle contains the F1 ATPase which participates in oxidative phosphorylation. These are the ribosomes. Ribosomes which were discovered by Palade in 1963. They are made up of two subunits, a smaller subunits and larger subunits. In fact, at the time of protein synthesis, both subunits unite with each other to form the complete structure. Their size is different in prokaryote cell and eukaryote cell. And interestingly, the size is not expressed commonly. It is the sedimentation property. So in prokaryote ribosomes, the smaller subunit is 30S, larger subunit is 50S, but the complete ribosome is of 70S. So it is not summation of the 30 and 50, mind it. Similarly, in eukaryote ribosomes also, the smaller subunit is 40X, larger is 60X, and the complete ribosome is 80S. It has two areas, A site or P site. So initially the mRNA and tRNA molecules bind with the A site and then they shift to the P site. The ribosomes are platforms of protein synthesis. Then in the cytoplasm we have a very interesting structure called lysosome. Lysosomes are actually the suicide bags of the cell. They have many hydrolytic enzymes which can hydrolyze or digest anything. They unite with food vacuole to make a phagosome. Inside that phagosome itself, the food is digested by the lysosomal enzymes. Sometimes there is small broken pieces of some cytoplasmic organelles. They are also taken in the lysosomes and digested to form the residual body. The residual bodies accumulate in the cell with aging. Sometimes there is a need to digest the whole complete cell. At that time also the lysosomes participate. For example, during metamorphosis of a tadpole larva of frog, the tail is digested by the activity of lysosomal enzymes and then it metamorphoses into an adult frog. The outermost boundary of the cell membrane, the thickness is about 70 to 100 angstrom, and in most of the animal cells the cell membrane is further surrounded by an extra covering which is called pellicle or basement membrane or glycocalyx or extraneous coat. The cell membrane has some outpocketings or outpushings called microvilli. It may have certain inpushings called pinocytic vesicles or pinocytic channels. When we study the detailed structure of a cell membrane, it appears sandwich-like a sandwich in which in the middle we just fill butter or jam or tomato and both sides are covered by bread pieces. Similarly, the cell membrane is also covered from both sides, outer side and outside, inner side by proteins, and in the middle we have stuffing of a phospholipid bilayer. So this structure, along with making the boundary wall, it also helps in the transport of necessary or unnecessary chemicals through the cell membrane. Thank you. In the next turn, we will talk about cell cycle and cell division, and then about each cell organelle in detail. Last but not the least, I once again share you that it is your serial, and if you have any problem in any topic, you can ring me in between this time 5 to 5:30 p.m. on this phone number. You can send your requirement by the SMS or WhatsApp or by direct calling. I shall try to reply you. And if you have any other topic required besides this schedule, you can request, and I shall try to adjust that topic of your interest in the coming session. Thank you very much.